I bleed silver with black, and I wear it with pride. Hold my shield to the sky. I'm a raider for life. 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 I'm a raider for life.
Touchdown, Raiders!
What's up, Raider Nation? It's your boy Mikey Raider, finally back from Baltimore, Pennsylvania, and Washington on my Raider tour. No, I was doing conventions as an actor to make some money because your boy is hurting, is broke, needs some support. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. I'm finally here to give you a Ravens versus Raiders post-game review 5 days later. But stick around for this video because this is a doubleheader. It's like a threesome. You're getting 2 videos for the price of 1. That's right. We're also going to do a Panthers game preview from my point of view. Hope you guys like the air conditioner. I need it on. There's really dirty air in this room because I forgot to open up windows when I left for about a week. Can you imagine the stench from me that has been in this room since I've lived here? Smells like me. And me don't smell good. I caveman. I dirty. I BO. Please do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Consider becoming a member of this channel. It helps support me with a few dollars through YouTube and the algorithm. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I need help and support in life. And I would appreciate if you do that, if you enjoy my content. Become a member of the channel. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. There are donation portals below. I could really use the help. Even though people think I'm rich now because I did conventions. No. But more importantly, I had a dream come true this past week. Why? Because I was able to go out on an adventure, make some money, and at the same time, God or whoever, the football gods, placed me in a convention in Pennsylvania, which is only an hour away from Baltimore, and the convention was on Saturday, and the Raiders versus the Ravens were on Sunday. If I made enough money to afford tickets on Saturday, I was going to get the tickets to go to the Ravens game. And I did. I made a decent amount. Truth is, I shouldn't have paid for the Raider tickets because it was expensive. It was like $500. I had to buy a ticket for a friend of mine that was taking care of me, driving me around, and stuff like that. But it's still expensive to go to football games. But stick around for this entire video. It's going to be a good one with thoughts from my perspective of going to a Raiders game in Baltimore and seeing what I've seen. I've still never been to a Raider game in Las Vegas. I tend to only watch the team when they're in areas that I'm around, and I have some money to be able to do so. Like when they were in San Diego, you know, a lot back in the days, I would be able to travel to a few of those games. When they're in the preseason here versus the Rams, or in the regular season, I'm able to watch them. I did see a game in Oakland many years ago. Never seen a Vegas game, though. But hey, my dreams were happening, so I was blessed to be able to go to the Raiders-Ravens game that Sunday. And I was tired from the convention and traveling. I'm not used to it. My body is not the healthiest. But I was up for that game. I got a chai latte. And I walked through the Baltimore baseball stadium, like on the way to what, I forgot the name of it, M&T Bank Stadium. And I was all in. I mean, I love football in general, so I like seeing the stadiums. Baltimore, the baseball stadium that we walked through, it's like all orange. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And the M&T Bank Stadium, I mean, let's be honest, they're fake Raiders. They're called Ravens. They call themselves Raven Nation. So I get confused every time I hear them yelling, Raven Nation. I'm like, huh? Raiders. But look, let's just talk about the game. Watch my game preview from a week ago before that game, and I pretty much predicted how the game script was going to go, and I was on point. I was on point. So everything happened the way I thought, except I'm going to start it with this. Your boy Mikey Raider thought they had no chance in the world. Thought the Raiders had no chance in the world. Even though it's any given Sunday, Mikey Raider was messed up in the head. Mikey Raider predicted a loss, and so has a lot of Raider content creators. But for those of you that still know how to have the positive nature, kudos on you. I am a very distraught Raider fan many times in my life, and I'm still going to continue to be so. But Mikey Raider, you're a bitch. You were wrong. You were fucking wrong. You lose. Good day, sir. You stole fizzy lifting drinks. Good day, sir. But I was wrong. I'm proud to take the L as a Raider fan. That's why I'm going to tell you this game lifted our spirits like a jet. Not from Boeing, like an Airbus. Well, do they crash too? I don't know. So I take the L, guys. My apologies for predicting a loss. I'm just happy that I was the key to success. Because if your boy Mikey Raider didn't go, they would have lost. I'm the heart that the team found this week in Baltimore. But I got to give everybody a rap. I told you all I would rap every time the Raiders win. So I'm going to give y'all a rap. I don't know how good it'll be. I'm sorry if I don't have 100% energy. I'm still all sorts of tired and sore just from walking and living. But here we go. We're going to start with the word Bowers because we know what happened in that game. Well, maybe I should give the rap after the review. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. That's called what? A tease, bitch. Mikey Raiders teasing. All right, so look. Raiders showed up at the M&T Bank Stadium. I was walking, and I thought it was going to be all purple and black. Again, fake Raiders. Ravens and Buccaneers. Man, there was Raider fans out there, boy. They were out there. Wow. I could not believe how many people I met. Also, I got recognized, not for only being an actor, for being Mikey Raider, by about 5 people, 6 people, and that made my day. Because about a year or so ago, I went to a preseason game and I had some tickets, and I gave tickets to Samoan Raider. And then I walked around that stadium. Nobody recognized me. Everybody recognized Samoan Raider. Yet I started this shit. I brought Samoan onto my show a few times, and then he started his career. I was a little jealous, I ain't gonna lie. But this time, Mikey Raider got noticed. Oh, you're the OG, I love you. Do you still have a channel? What the hell? They didn't even know I have a channel still. That's how the NFL has really gotten me, and whatever. They have shadow banned me to shit. I think I can't even use the words Raider Central or Mikey Raider, and people can't find me anymore. I mean, boy, they hurt me. But it's okay. I got recognized, and it felt great. There was Raider fans everywhere. Now, my friend that I went with, he's not even a Ravens fan. He's a Commanders fan, but he was rooting for the Raiders because he had Brock Bowers on his team. And he told me, oh, I'm hoping Brock Bowers goes off. I need a good game. And I told him, I said, Brock, this is Brock Bowers' game. Brock Bowers going to go for at least 10 catches, 100 yards, and maybe a touchdown. What had happened was 9 receptions, 96 yards, and almost a touchdown. Your boy was on point. But more being said, this game, the game script couldn't have been better for the Raiders. I mean, literally, Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry could have took us to the shed. But Christian Wilkins and Max Crosby to start the game and this defense, man, they were flying around the field. And that was a sight to see. And it ended up in a field goal game. We don't have to go into all the details, but it ended up into a field goal game. 3-0, 6-3, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And then by halftime, I was telling the people next to me, there was a couple Raider fans, and I was like, this is the perfect game script. I mean, we're literally in this game at halftime. And I was like, this is happening. But it was scary at first, for the offense, especially the run game as well. Nothing was happening. They were getting a few turnovers here on defense and sacks and good field positions and stuff like that to keep them in the game. And I'll be quite honest with you, I was trying to watch the sidelines as well because I wanted to watch Antonio Pierce, how he reacts, because I'm very critical of him, Davante Adams, and a lot of other players on what they've been doing publicly. And just to speak on that real quickly publicly, Davante Adams seems to wear a T-shirt every week after a press conference or during a press conference that has some sort of a public statement. I don't know if you guys realize that, but that's what's going on. I can't name or remember all the ones he's done this season, but after all the controversy, we're talking about him being traded after the loss in week 1, he wore a shirt that said, public villain. I mean, if you guys don't think he is pulling some troll stuff or some moves to create sort of a diva nature, it's happening. Whether I love the guy, hate the guy, he's going to be traded or not, I'm just saying. He's on the Kay Adams show now weekly, every Tuesday. He's got more commercials. He's trying to build a brand. He's trying to get as much money. He is trying to win, but, he's got some reservations about a lot of this stuff that's going on. But that's what's going on. And then the game script couldn't have been any better, man. It really could not have been. So I don't remember all the details, so forgive me. We go to halftime, and I knew that there needed to be an adjustment. And learning after the fact, they had a big meeting at halftime about progress and stuff like that. And then this is what I saw from the sidelines. I was pretty close. I was on the Raider sidelines. I have some video. I think I posted something on Twitter. But long story short, so the Raiders come out after halftime, right? Now, I wanted to see if Davante and Gardner Minshew can get on the same page because he dropped a pass or two early on in that game. And I don't need to go over all the ticks and tats and whatever you want to call it. But Davante Adams did not come out and talk to Gardner Minshew. I didn't see the whole game Gardner Minshew talking to Davante or any of the wide receivers for that matter. But I saw Max Crosby constantly walking up and down, patting everybody on the shoulder and everything, no matter who it was. And I was like, damn, Max is being a leader. I wish I would have seen that from Davante, at least in the first half. And I'm not exactly sure when Gardner Minshew threw the interception, but I'm pretty sure it was the third quarter. And that's when it all changed. Because I was pissed off. I was like, we ain't got a quarterback. But I was watching Gardner and Davante that entire time, like on the sidelines. And then Gardner Minshew threw that interception. Then he ran off on the field, or ran off the field. And a lot of heads were down in Raider Nation around me, screaming. Then I saw Max Crosby. Well, I didn't see him at first. The guy next to me goes, what is Max saying to Gardner? Then I looked and I found him. Then I saw Max saying something. And I was like, damn, Max is pissed off. But then I saw Max pat him on the chest. And I went, damn, he's trying to build him up. telling him something. Because we all know the history with Max Crosby and Gardner Minshew. Let's be honest. Gardner Minshew is like the little bitch. I think the Raiders and some of the people are like using power above him and trolling him. Because he's too calm, like too surfer boy, too white boy. Yeah, man, you know, let me put my hair back. Like dazed and confused. Like that's how Gardner is. And I think they want more like passion from him. You know, that's what we always wanted from Derek Carr, and apparently Derek Carr is doing it now with the Saints. But I think they wanted more passion from him. And there's videos where they make fun of Gardner Minshew, they're clowning him, and he probably just goes to a corner and he doesn't speak up. But there are moments where Gardner Minshew throughout his career has that mojo. But he has to believe that the other players believe in him and they got his back. And I'll be honest with you, this is just my opinion. I think from day one, even Davante and a lot of people truly wanted Aiden O'Connell because he was homegrown, drafted. They played with him last year, so they're rooting for the kid. You know, he's a church-going boy, sort of like a Derek Carr-ish, and they like that sort of stuff. Plus, Aiden O'Connell started getting some swag this offseason, doing Max Crosby's podcast and whatnot, and so on and so forth. So I think there was a little disconnect with Gardner Minshew. Again, there's video of them calling him little ass, or Max Crosby calling him a little ass boy, making fun of him on the beach. I don't think Gardner felt like a teammate. But after this interception, when Max Crosby said whatever he said, and we now later learned that he told him, you know, we got your back. You're our leader. We need the Gardner from college, the West Virginia or wherever he played. We need that guy. Bring that motherfucker out. Do not make a mistake again. You are our leader, and we believe in you. I'm paraphrasing. I don't know what he said. But that's what he said to Gardner. And you look at the video of Gardner listening, right after Max Crosby says that and pats him, he goes, and now, nobody probably saw this unless you got sideline cam. Gardner Minshew walks past Max Crosby. Then Antonio Pierce gets in his face and goes, now! Now! I'm assuming that's what he said. Or he might have said, fuck! I don't know. I saw that. He just pumped his fist. Then Antonio Pierce walked toward Luke Getsy, the offensive coordinator. All right, I'm sorry, everybody. My audio went out, so I'm having to film this again. Not the entire thing, but from where the audio went out. So, like I said, Gardner Minshew threw the interception. Antonio Pierce told him now. And then Antonio Pierce walked over toward Luke Getsy and gave him the stare of death. And said something like, do it, or now is the time, or what the hell are you calling? I don't know. But it was just so interesting. This is where the tide turned for the Raider game. Now, bringing it back to Davante Adams. At this moment, after Gardner walked off the field, Davante put his helmet down, sat down. Gardner sat down, and a lot of us were just screaming for Gardner Minshew's head, and we were pissed off. But this is when I believe the tide turned, not only with the Max Crosby speech, but Davante did something that, in my opinion, was not what he would normally do. I, in this entire game, have not seen Davante and Gardner chalk it up on the sidelines, try to figure out what's going on. But after the halftime speech, whatever happened, and the Max Crosby speech to Gardner after the interception, well, Davante gets up, puts on his helmet, goes to Gardner Minshew, then they stand, and he picks him up, and he's like, let's go. And Gardner gets up. There was no coach around Gardner, no coach around Davante. Then they get up and walk toward the sidelines. Then Aiden O'Connell is called in as well, and they create a square where they're going to like throw the ball, catch it, pass it to the next person, and it goes in a square. They did this the entire game before the Raiders went on offense, and Davante Adams was never in this square. It was Jacoby Myers or somebody else, or Trey Tucker or whoever it was. And now Davante's there with his helmet on. And Aiden O'Connell and Gardner are standing there, and then Davante, they start throwing the ball, where Gardner takes the ball, gets it handed to him, throws it to Davante, then Davante passes it to whoever else is there, then they throw it to Aiden O'Connell, then Aiden O'Connell passes it to Gardner, and then he throws it to Davante, like to get that pattern, that routine up. And they did this all game. Davante was never there. Now why is Davante there? Well, he's doing a mental tactic to Gardner Minshew to stop him from thinking about the interception and wanting to mentally brainwash Gardner Minshew. I'm number 17. Here's me with the helmet. Throw the ball to me. I'm in front of you. Regardless of the mistakes I made earlier, throw the ball to me. And that's what they did. He kept catching the ball like this, like turning around and catching it. He was also probably trying to fix his mistakes that he made earlier in the game. But Davante was doing a mental tactic to get Gardner Minshew to forget the interception and to remind him, throw the ball to me without any concerns moving forward. Could that have been a diva statement? It could have been. But I think it was more like Davante was just trying to show him he's the man at that moment and to throw me the ball, number 17. So it was a beautiful sight to see. Then, after they threw the ball for a couple of minutes while the Raiders were on defense, Davante walks up to Gardner and then pushes his chest, not hard, but pushes it like boom. And then he pats him on the shoulders like this. Boom, boom, as a way of saying, you got this, motherfucker. That was cool as fuck to see. Whether I'm still critical of Davante moving forward, which I will be, whether he'll be traded if we lose, whether he'll cause more diva activities, whether he'll wear more t-shirts that say public villain, I don't know. But that was really, really cool to see. These were the moments that led to Gardner Minshew finding that pride and that poise and feeling a part of the team. Then right after that, well, sky's the limit and you know the truth. Keep on, just keep on pressing on. Sky's the limit and you know the truth. You have what you want, be what you want. Minshew Mania is there. That's what happened. And it was beautiful to see from Davante and Max and everybody else lifting up Gardner Minshew, telling him, you're our guy. Boom, you got this, let's frickin' go. Wow. That was amazing to watch. And we all know what happened. I don't need to get into the game flow any further, but that's what frickin' happened. And we ended up pulling it out. Gardner started throwing the rock, making moves with his legs. He finally started to get in a rhythm, making moves out of the backfield, throwing the balls on the run, and making things happen, doing that Minshew improv-mania, which is what we all expected. It's hard to do that when your run game is stationary and ain't shit happening. It's hard to call play actions and stuff like that. But Gardner found a way, regardless of the run game. See, that's what they were telling him. He's stationary, doing it by the books. He's not finding that heart that we all know he has to make plays and to throw the ball wherever the fuck he wants to. He was probably going by the playbook and the this and that for so long. And then, you know, he was seeing ghost. And then the team was like, dude, you're our leader. I'm your guy. Throw me the ball, you motherfucker. Let's go. You're there. You know, whatever they did. Gardner gets back on the field. He's like, damn. Fuck it. They believe in me. They just showed me I can do this. And then it was a sight to see. And then every time he needed an outlet, there was Brock Bowers. Man, he was throwing the rock. He was making improv moves. He became the leader, the quarterback of the Raiders that day. That moment, he became our quarterback to the entire team. And just to be real with you, you would think Aiden O'Connell might be jealous, might be mad. I saw Aiden O'Connell. I was watching him a lot on the sidelines. Dude, he was cheering on Gardner. Every time they would score, get a big play, get a field goal, touchdown, whatever, he'd walk back to the field. Aiden was jumping like this in Gardner's face when he was walking off the field. And then even one time, Davante Adams patted him on the head. It's like, yeah, like, that's right. You're my dude. After all of this stuff, it was really, really cool to see. Max Crosby and everybody else was dabbing him up as best as possible, and he was feeling it. He didn't sit down all the time like he did in previous games and before this. He didn't sit down. He kind of stood up for a little bit. He's wagging his shoulders like this. He was feeling it. It was fantastic to see, guys. Raiders got a victory. We pulled through. We got the big field goal in the end. Some people think there was some penalty called by the referees that helped us out. I mean, I'm not here to say that. If the referees helped us out or not, great. They seem to like helping out the Kansas City Chiefs constantly at the end of games to win games so they can show Taylor Swift on the screen. So fuck it. If the Raiders got some, fuck it. But man, the way that game script happened for the Raiders, for us to be in it, to win it in the end, and to come back from 10 points and win, we are not that team. Not trying to be rude. We're not built that way. That's why this game was an outlier, and it proved we can do it if we need to. You know, people say, well, the Raiders didn't win, the Ravens lost. I don't care. I don't care. Because guess what? Raiders won, bitch. I don't care. Just win, baby. Man, but we're not built that way to come back from, honestly, 10 points or even more in most games. Antonio Pierce had a few correct 4th and 1 play calls that could have been mismanaged. There was a point where we were down by 9 or something, or 10, and he went for it on 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, whatever it might have been, and I was screaming, please get the field goal. We're like at the 30-yard line or whatever it might have been. Please get the field goal, make it a 1-possession game. But they decided to go for it. Then they threw the ball to Davante where he dropped it in the end zone. It hit his hands and he couldn't catch it. So we got no points on that possession. And then, I mean, it all worked out after that for us to climb back in the game and win it. But still, at that moment, I was like, Antonio Pierce, take the points while you can get them. Because then right after was like a turnover on defense. And we got the ball back. And then we did end up scoring. But I don't know. I kind of wanted the field goal. But I do like the swagger that he went for it and they believed in Davante even though he dropped it. But I don't know if that was a coach's mistake or not compared to all the other 4th and 2s or the other mistakes he made in the preseason or in week 1 versus the Chargers. I'm still on the fence. It worked out because the next play or two we got a turnover. Then we ended up scoring. I still would have taken the points. In close games like we're going to be in, you got to take the points. But it was also nice pride to show that he believed in his team and he believed we could have scored with Davante and they made the right play call. The problem is Davante dropped it. So Davante gave Antonio Pierce an out. If it wasn't even close, if it was a bad pass by Gardner or whatever, we would have been screaming at Antonio Pierce for not taking the 3 points. But because Davante dropped it and it looked like it was open, Antonio Pierce is not getting any feedback. So I don't know what side of the fence you lie on with that, but I'm just being quite honest with you. I could take it either way. I like the swag because we wanted him to show swag and go for it on 4th and 1 or 2 versus the Chargers when he didn't, when he punted the ball. And then this time, I think he needed the points in a close game to make it a 1-possession game. But then he decided to go for it. So he pulled out the balls or the swag, but it might have been the wrong moment. I don't know. It was one of those weird things. I'm still a little bit afraid of Antonio Pierce and his decision-making for the upcoming rest of the season. It's a little scary, to be quite honest with you. But again, 90% of NFL coaches would go for the points there. I don't know. I'm going to leave it at that. It was interesting. Now, that being said, post-game press conferences, Davante and everybody was having a good time. Antonio Pierce was cheering and laughing, and I saw them walking off of the field in a video. Antonio Pierce hugged Tom Telesco, and they were feeling it. They had a lot of pressure on themselves. Max Crosby said that all the negativity from even Raider fans and people not believing in the team at that moment, they said it got to them, and they had to come out and prove something. Max is like, I want to be the best in the league or on the Raiders of all time. And he goes, I ain't going to lie. What the fans or what the media and the people were saying about us, he's like, it got to me. Well, I'm glad that we talk shit. I'm glad that I talk shit. I'm glad that some of us are critical and not just positive. Because if we had any hand in Max Crosby hearing the negativity to make him play the way he did, then fantastic. If we helped get him and the team motivated to really go in Gardner Minshew's face, to liven him up, and to play that game, if we had a hand in it by being what you guys would call assholes or shit talkers or haters of the Raiders because we're critical, I'm happy because we got a freaking victory. Max Crosby did pull up limp at the end of the game on that weird play that Lamar Jackson probably could have scored. I mean, the way he ran with the 1 second left or whatever it was, I mean, man, whew, it was scary in the stadium. I think I have that video on X or Twitter, so check it out. Somebody hits me when they forward pass it and the game's over, but that was scary. But we got the victory, man. They were screaming Raider Nation. Max Crosby pulled up limp. It looked like he hurt his ankle pretty bad. I hope he's okay. I got to check out the reports, but I saw them that he pulled up a little bit limp, and he tried to be helped off the field, but he wasn't having it. He was just like this. So I hope it's not bad. God bless you. Long story short, that was a beautiful game to watch in person, to be a part of. What a blessing from the Lord for me to be able to witness and share with you guys those stories. I had a fantastic day. It was beautiful to watch the Raiders win, and I'm so freaking grateful. All right. That being said, I hope that's the moment that propels Gardner and the rest of this team to believe in themselves more. I hope it propels Antonio Pierce to, start putting the foot on the gas pedal, They know Bowers is a beast, and they know Davante is a beast, and you can get it to either one of those guys and win the game. But we're going to have other playmakers make plays moving forward. Kobe Myers has kind of been lost in this system. Zeus White, we'll talk about in a minute, is struggling. And Trey Tucker, I mean, what's going on there? We need some big plays from some of these guys moving forward. Because if we rely on Brock Bowers and Davante, teams will scheme them up. So somebody else is going to have to be available. So they got some work to do, let's be honest. All right, that being said, thank you guys for watching my post-game review. I appreciate that. Let me know your thoughts on the game and the stories I told you. Now, it is time for Week 3. The Raiders versus the Carolina Panthers. Well, what happened to them? They benched their quarterback, Bryce Young, on Monday morning after that game. They're not playing so good. They got turmoil. They got trauma. Who's their best players? Davante Johnson, who knows? He ain't doing nothing. Chuba Hubbard, the best running back, he ain't doing nothing. Bryce Young, their first-round pick, is being benched. They got a lot of turmoil coming into this season. They named Andy Dalton the starter. Now the Raiders are coming off a big victory, and people are saying this week's Panthers could be last week's Raiders, meaning we're the come-from-behind kids. We're not expected to win, and they win. Well, fuck you, media, for even bringing that up, you bastards. We deserve that win. We got that win. I don't care. Is this a trap game? Could be. Could be. But let's talk about it some more in a second. I just want to remind everybody, please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Consider becoming a member of this channel if you enjoy my nonsense. And if you're able to support in any way, I'd appreciate you. All information down below, donation portals, bells for notification, memberships, click the join button. There might be some merchandise. I love you. All right, I watched the press conference from Tuesday. I guess Antonio Pierce did a press conference on Tuesday to get the week started, and Andy Dalton was named the starter. One of the reporters told Antonio Pierce, they said, hey, something about blah, blah, blah. How do you feel about, Andy Dalton? And then Antonio goes, excuse me? He goes, yeah, Andy Dalton has been named the starter, for the Panthers yesterday morning. And then Antonio goes, yeah, I didn't know nothing about that. We just had a meeting, but they didn't say nothing about that. I don't know. I can't say anything. What the fuck was that, Antonio? You're the head coach of the Raiders. You're facing the Panthers. You just got out of a meeting with your team, and you don't know that 24 to 30 hours earlier, Andy Dalton was named the starter? Are you fucking kidding me? I was traveling on planes. I was sleeping in hotels, walking around neighborhoods in Washington looking for strippers. And I knew Andy Dalton was named the starter. You're the head coach of the Raiders. The fuck are you doing? People are going to give excuses for him. He's the defensive core coach. He's the head coach. He's got so much on his plate. He leaves that up to coordinators. Fuck you and your excuses. That was some bullshit. I'm not saying it's going to be a big problem, but it shows some sort of lack of knowledge with Antonio Pierce. All the 4th and 1 calls that we've been questioning, the game management, the clock management, it's been a little scary. Now you don't even know the quarterback that's been named the starter of the other team. It worries me. Sorry. You work too much, Mikey. You work too fucking much. You relax. Stop being critical. Enjoy the victory, bitch. Okay. But seriously, that's a little scary for the head coach. Not to even know who they're playing against as a starter. It's a little scary. All right, but I'm over that. The game script, as I said for my Ravens game, which I was 100% correct, was dink and dunk, try to stay in the game, keep Lamar off the field, play good defense. This week doesn't need to be that game script. They're a struggling team, more so. But we need to establish the run. We need to get it going. Zeus White is a decent running back, and he ain't done shit. The offensive line is struggling. Hopefully we get Jackson Powers Johnson back, because we need to see what we got from this bodybuilding bully of a lineman. He was sick last week, but I forgot to mention this. While I was watching the game, he was on the field rooting on the team in a white shirt, and he was pumping them up. He wants to be a part of this team, and he can be the catalyst for this offensive line to play much better. Colton Miller's been struggling as well, to be quite honest with you. Maybe it was because he was injured all preseason and training camp and whatnot. And they made a change at guard during the Ravens game, and there was better communication after they changed the guard. So we'll have to look out for that because a couple of things are happening on the Raiders O-line. But if we're able to at least get Jackson Powers Johnson on the field, that'll help to start to establish the run game with that bully on the line of scrimmage. And he brings a lot of pride to the other players. So we are going to push the run game this week. That's why I'm wearing the Bo Jackson jersey, because the game script this week is to run the ball a lot. And we're going to see shades of Bo Jackson in Zeus White this week. This guy can make plays. And he has been doing that. He did it at the end of the Ravens game. He started to, once they established the tone, he started to have some decent runs. This is a run game that we're going to establish. Then we're going to have some play action available. And then we can try some tricks. Not only with Davante and or Brock Bowers as the safety net, but we can try some tricks with Trey Tucker and Jacoby Myers and players out of the backfield this week. Because we're going to establish the run game. We have to. They are not going to get away from it unless the game is out of reach, which I do not think it will be. I hope to be ahead in this game the entire way instead of having to play from behind. But Andy Dalton is a veteran. He is going to make the Panthers better. They are going to target Deontay Johnson much better. I mean, Bryce Young had a 4.4 pass yardage average coming into this game and even from last year. Andy Dalton will throw the ball down the field with his Red Rock Ash, whatever they call him. And he played for the New Orleans Saints a couple of years ago when we faced him. He is a veteran quarterback. He is going to help this team be better than they have been previously. So technically, in Raiders history, when you think about it, sometimes when a new quarterback comes in that replaces the other one, Raiders sometimes get messed up. Brock Purdy, whoever else the San Francisco 49er quarterbacks that came in and fucked us up were. I don't believe that'll be the case. Depending on Max Crosby's health on defense and other factors, Jack Jones and all that, who has been starting to really play great, we're going to be able to handle our own. But Andy Dalton will be better, and they're going to make some plays. They're going to make some plays. I still, honestly, even before last week, thought we were the better team than the Panthers going into this game. So I believe we are the better team this week as well, coming off of that motivational victory that we got with Gardner Minshew. I expect Gardner and the team to build upon that from last week. They now know how to hold the ball in time of possession. Now they got to establish the run. And now we know we got Brock Bowers and Davante Adams to bail us out if we need it. I think this is going to be a really good game where we finally play at least 3 quarters of ball, if not longer. And we put it all together. We get some players back healthy. Jackson Powers Johnson. We establish the run. And we go 2-1. And then we got some winnable games ahead. I think we've faced Cleveland, Denver. I forget who else in the next couple weeks. There's a scenario where we're 3-2 or 4-1 to start the season if everything continues to go right and we don't have trap games and we play and motivate from the Ravens game on forward. So, nice way to start the season, Raider Nation. Nice way. Or we're hoping it will be. That being said, I predict the MVP from this week's game will be, no doubt in my mind, Zeus White, over 100 yards, maybe a touchdown or 2. And this is going to be a really good run-heavy game script. So if you got Zeus White in fantasy football, if you need him in the flex or somewhere else or on daily fantasy, I would give him this final chance to prove something. If he doesn't do it this week, because the Panthers give up a lot of rushing yardage as well, if he doesn't do it this week, I'd be severely worried in real life for our Raiders run game. All right, Raiders win 20-17. 27-20. It ain't going to be that close during the whole game, but it'll be 27-20. Well, you know, the Raiders' defense is so good. I'm going to go 27-17. How about that, Raider Nation? Thank you guys for chiming in to today's really long video. I'm sorry I had a delay of so long to get you this video, but I appreciate you guys for understanding while I work through some things in my life and trying to make money and trying to come out of the closet. Not in that fucking way. You sick bastards. Why did you even think that way? No, I'm not touching the rectangular ass of a human male. I love you, Raider Nation. And now it's time for the wrap that I promise you after every victory for the Raiders. Let's start with the word Brock Bowers because he's the one that helped us win that game alongside Gardner Minshew. So here we go. Give me a beat. Yo, Bowers. What? Bowers. What? He's the main man in our Tower of Power. He's Bowers. What? He's Bowers. What? He's the main man in our Raider Tower. Everybody knows what's going on. We're about to get it. Minshew Mania's here, so let's get with it. Everybody's going to do the dance. Raider Nation, baby. It will last because we are the ones that do it loud. We are the ones that do it proud. Mikey Raider yelling. The crowd done too. Raider Nation is here. What you gonna do? Raiders is what we're yelling, yo. Raiders is what we're feeling, yo. Raiders is what we're doing now. Raiders is the time now. Yo, Antonio Pierce, yo, bringing the swag, yo, with no fear. Who do we got in the back? What? Davante Adams on the Minshew attack. Everybody knows we're going to do it big. We're going to do it loud. We're going to do it proud. Mikey Raider's here. I'm singing it out now. Everybody knows Raider Nation is the best crowd. We're yelling Raiders is what we're yelling now. Raiders. I love you, Raider Nation. I'll see you next time. Ooh, I'm tired. It's rough.
I bleed silver with black, and I wear it with pride. Hold my shield to the sky. I'm a Raider for life. 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 I'm a Raider for life.
Touchdown! Raiders!
It's in the same exact thing. That's crazy. It's going to be amazing. Ravens six about 30-31.
I'll call you later because I want to pick your business, man. I want to pick your brain. Sorry about the Raiders water ice, man. I'm like silent talking about police. It sound right. Yeah, they're talking about like buying lawnmowers and shit. Wait, what this? They were talking about Raiders water ice, buying a franchise. Did that 12 years ago? I know. I went completely.
What's up, fellas?
You're probably like, what the fuck's going on with this guy?
Yo! Trying to get whatever I can.
So, that's ultimately our big goal. That's what we're going to do with our
I can get some ideas, but yeah.
We'll actually do the gym and business. Yeah,
It's good. Daniel Carlton with the 50-yarder. Hold him down.
Complete from our games, we saw 41 run line. Perfect check. Great.